What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie298 coming at you live once again to the power of the internet. And this is a bit of a follow-up to a video I made last week pitting Steam versus the Epic Launcher Store. There's been an update and I want to get into that. But before I do, I want to talk about that video. Based on the comments and the feedback from that video, a lot of you are under the impression that I want Epic to win this fight, and I do not. I own hundreds of Steam games at this point. I want Steam to stick around. I want Steam to be successful. I'm rooting for Steam, and if it were up to me, I would only use Steam as a launcher. That would be the only one I would use. But what I was rooting for here is that Epic is finally providing some actual competition for Steam. And why that is good is because Steam has been resting on its laurels for about a decade now. We need Steam to start giving better discounts and better deals to developers. We need them to start selling games for even cheaper and do more frequent sales and give back to the community more often. Maybe start giving away free games like every other platform does. And more importantly, this is what I really want Steam to do. I want its parent company, Valve, to start making video games again. I wanted to make Portal 3 and Left 4 Dead 3 and Half-Life 3 and Team Fortress. Basically, like I said in the last video, I just wanted to learn to count to 3. Now, if you haven't watched that last video, I hope that you do. I will link to it in the description box below. But we went over a lot of the things that the Epic Store is doing right. There is one thing the Epic Store is doing wrong, though, and it involves exclusive content. And we've talked about exclusive content quite a bit on this channel, specifically games that have been made and funded by console manufacturers like God of War and the Halo franchise and the Spider-Man game by Insomniac. And exclusive content can be a fairly good thing if the company, like Sony, like Steam, like Epic, like whoever else, decides to take a big chunk of money and throw it at the developer and say, create as a new IP or use one of our existing IPs to make something unique and incredible and cool. When you pay to put something new into the world, I like that kind of exclusive. But at the beginning of this console generation, we saw companies like Microsoft taking games that could have easily been, should have been on multi-platforms, like the Tomb Raider series, and throwing money at Square Enix and saying, look, we want a timed exclusive. We want this game to exclusively be on our store to try to help sell consoles. And that's the kind of exclusive that I hate. A game that easily could have been, should have been on multiple platforms, developed with somebody else's money, being purchased after the fact to create some sort of false exclusivity. You didn't create anything, you just bought something. You didn't spend money to create something new and put something good into the world. You spent money to make gaming worse by making a game more difficult to play and more difficult to purchase and more difficult to acquire. And today, that's what we saw the Epic Store do, and it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So the sequel, Metro Exodus, originally was selling on the Steam store where you could pre-order, you could put your money down to buy this game. And now it is being moved off of the Steam store and will launch exclusively on the Epic Store due to some level of manipulation from the folks over at Epic. Now, there is some good news here. Deep Silver did explain that the game will return to Steam a year after release, so it is only a timed exclusive. If you pre-ordered it on Steam, that will be honored, so you'll still be able to play it through Steam. And as of the recording of this video, you can still pre-order it on Steam, so there's a chance you can play it there. But if you're not quick about it, you will not be able to play this game on Steam. You'll have to go through the Epic launcher to play it on PC. And this is pretty much an act of war. This is them pretty much pulling the trigger. This is the shot that'll be heard through all of PC gaming. And Epic, if you think this is going to build you some goodwill, it is doing quite the opposite. I just made a video kind of saying how good it was that you were entering the fray and that you were offering real competition. And now you do something like this, and you've even got me upset. So, yeah, poor decision here. What I do like here is that it will only cost $50 on Epic Storefront, where it's $60 over at Steam. And if they had stopped there, if that had been all they had done instead of buying a timed exclusive, I would be applauding this decision. But instead, manipulating these guys into creating a timed exclusive that's not going to be available on Steam just makes you look like jerks. Now, Valve did issue a press release on this, saying, "We think the decision to remove the game is unfair to Steam customers, especially after a long pre-sale period. We apologize to Steam customers that were expecting it to be available for sale through February 15th release date, but we were only recently informed of the decision and given very limited time to let everyone know." And I agree with Steam here. I do think this is very unfair to customers. I was just saying how pro-consumer Epic was being in a lot of their policies, but this one is anti-consumer. This is anti-competition. Taking that Fortnite money and instead of creating a brand new video game and creating a new thing to sell exclusively through your store, you're using it to deny people the choice to purchase it elsewhere. That is anti-consumer. So much of what Epic is doing is correct, giving developers a better price so that they can pass the savings on to the consumer and giving consumers free games, an excuse to download their launcher and creating exclusive games and exclusive experiences for their launcher. That is all good stuff, and I don't think this erases that. Because all of that is good for the industry. It's good for the consumer. It's good for everyone involved, and it makes you money in the process. This will make you money in the process, but it is bad for the industry, and it is bad for the consumer, and I can't believe a company that I was hoping would get this right could get this so wrong.
You fucked it up!
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay?
Just a week after I was saying they were going to get it right. Oh well. That's the lesson you learn. Don't have faith in corporations. Don't have faith in companies. Don't have faith in gaming. Just in gaming in general, boy, because it's the only thing they care about is the bottom line. That's one man's opinion. I know I could be wrong, and if I am, I know you're going to let me know in that comments section below. While you're down there, do me a favor. Hit like on that like button. Let the world know that you enjoyed this video, and let me know that you like videos like this. While you're down there, hit subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, hit that notification bell so that way you can get more videos like this as soon as they arrive in your inbox. And let me tell you something, the quicker you watch a video, the better they do, and I really appreciate it. In the description box, you will find a link to my previous video about Epic. You can go watch that and then watch me wipe the egg off my face. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.